Let's talk about the furry comic I Do My Bully's Homework. In it, we follow Rodney, a high school age ram, his wolf bully Michael, and Michael's two friends Isaac and Charon. Four main characters, 25 pages, with about 25 more planned. Let's have a closer look. Rodney is shown to be a very upbeat, innocent, and honestly pretty oblivious, class smart kid who has no friends, overdoes his homework, and hyperfixates on whatever happens to interest him at the time. He kinda comes across like he's on the autism spectrum, I'm not gonna lie. You can only be so oblivious before it starts to become worrying. He cherishes a storybook about a princess whose people forgot her, so she runs away to a big strong tower, only to run into a dragon guarding it and getting rescued by a Prince Charming. More on that later. Michael is the class layabout who doesn't do his assignments, doesn't turn in his homework, and is frankly on track to pretty much fail at life. It's hinted that he comes from a broken home, but he puts in zero effort at school, so he'll get zero of the benefits as well. When he sees that Rodney is an ace student, he tries to bully him into doing his homework, but Rodney agrees before he can even start making threats. Rodney is so bad at reading the room that he thinks Michael is putting his life in his hands and quickly decides that the two of them are friends. This isn't even close to true, so the comic's namesake starts up right away with Rodney doing Michael's homework for him and receiving nothing in return. Rodney tries to tell his parents about Michael, saying that he is a wolf with spiky hair and piercings. This conjures up the worst images the two can think of, along with all the name-calling and taping signs to Rodney's back when he's not paying attention. His parents are glad that he finally made a friend, but don't have the heart to tell him that what he's actually made is a bully. Unfortunately for everyone involved, Rodney is so oblivious that he can't read the room, doesn't understand when he's being threatened or taken advantage of. Moving on, we have our two other stars, Charon and Isaac. This is where the comic starts to tip its hand. Charon is incredibly sensitive about his weight, going as far as trying to eat healthy and join sports teams, only for his two friends to make fun of him and bully him out of actually eating healthy. He hates his body and is miserable about his size and lack of athleticism. Isaac, on the other hand, is a closeted trans. In the confines of his room, he goes by the name Scout and plays dress-up to feel pretty and attractive. Unfortunately, his two friends are pretty vicious about making fun of another trans girl at school, so he keeps everything very close to the chest. Now, I know nothing about the trans community, but I know cute when I see it, and Scout is fucking adorable. Scout is best girl, and I will not hear otherwise. Fight me. Also, it is a stroke of artistic genius that the lizard character is trans, as she has no hair, no discernible gender features, and can easily pass as either gender depending on their outfit and demeanor. Very well done. Scout is unfortunately so far in the closet that she is never going to see the light of day because of how Michael and Charon treat the other trans girl at school. So yeah, separately, these three are strong characters with understandable problems, well-portrayed personalities and character traits, but when they come together in any combination, they instantly become one of the most wildly toxic trios I have ever seen. You know, high school boys. They're like a bucket of crabs constantly pulling each other down without realizing it. They're not bad people, they're just vicious teenage boys when they're together. I went to school to be a teacher. I know exactly who these boys are, and I've met several different versions of them over the years. The story is always the same. The second they are apart from each other, they're nice enough, but put them in the same room together, and they're just... God, they're just pure poison. Anyway, back to Rodney, and by far the most ingenious scene in the entire comic. Rodney is telling his parents all about Michael and how great he is, despite all of the bullying signals that are passing entirely over his head. That makes a bit of a slip-up in his gushing. Rodney describes Michael like the tower in the Princess book that he likes so much. He says that the outside world can feel lonely and scary sometimes, but he feels comfortable and warm and safe in the tower. And that's what it's like being inside Michael. What? He he meant to say with Michael, not in Michael. He got his metaphor mixed up there. Although, points to Rodney's mom here, the first words out of her mouth are asking if she needs to buy condoms for him. That is both hilarious and ace-level parenting. Your teenage son might be having sex, and there is nothing you can do to stop him since you're not there 24/7, but you can at least make sure that he's being safe. So, good mom. Anyway, what makes the joke of this scene so ingenious is like the 5 levels of information that Rodney gives with a single sentence. Let me put up the panel again real quick. Okay, in one panel, with one sentence, Rodney is saying 5 different things to his parents. He is saying, I'm gay, that friend I told you about is my boyfriend now, we are sexually active, I feel very safe around him despite the scary descriptions that I have given, and I am topping him. Okay. Points for mom and dad for believing that their sweet and innocent baby is in a stable relationship, despite having no other friends to speak of. But being sexually active and being the top in the bedroom, there are limits to the imaginations of others, Rodney. This joke and this panel especially is genius. Saying 4 or 5 things with a single sentence is writing mastery, and it should be celebrated and pointed out. The author may have done this on accident, but I choose to believe that the wording on this was carefully done for such a spectacular punchline. Anyway, like I said, this comic is only about 25 pages with about 25 more planned, so I can't tell you a lot more than I already have. Should you read I Do My Bully's Homework? Yeah, I'd say so. It's bright, it's colorful, it deals with a lot of very real issues that young men in this age category deal with, and it's surprisingly not pulling any punches when it comes to addressing how toxic groups of high school boys can be, especially with each other. Is there any hope for them, much less for the oblivious Rodney? Well, you'll have to read it and see. Check it out.